Hi, Jonathan York, Bay Financial Partners, looking at investment markets. Still a pretty tricky time out there for US equities. Some of the tech stocks still under quite a bit of pressure out there, really being led by Apple. But potentially there does seem a little bit of sort of light on the horizon with the upcoming G20 meeting. Apparently some reasonably sort of high-level talks taking place at all levels apparently. This is coming out of the White House from Larry Kudlow between the US and China to try and avert this sort of ongoing trade war and try and come to some sort of solution. Just on the back of that, since President Trump has introduced the tariffs on steel, GM have now announced they're going to be closing 4 plants down in the US. Trump not happy about this, but it's one of the direct causes of it has been the increased costs in steel. Which of course is of his own making. So I think the interesting point now going forward, the US economy is still pretty strong. It's just going to be interesting to see what the Fed does. In the last sort of week or so, a few comments coming out that, maybe points to maybe a slight sort of easing, if you like, in the Fed sort of stance. Certainly most people are expecting a still rate hike in December, but then it's going to be interesting to see how it plays through from there. Other big news has been oil. Oil is back closer to $50 now. If you think about 6 months ago, it was close on 75. Over a 30% fall in oil. Again, while President Trump is sort of lauding this and saying it's good for the US economy, in terms of the oil producers and the shale market out there, obviously not particularly good. And again, it's just going to be interesting to see how it sort of plays through. Big OPEC meeting coming up in December. Expected to see a little bit of sort of cut in production to try and hopefully sort of boost the price a little bit. Obviously, other big news out there has been Brexit. We've now got a sort of a deal on the table. Prime Minister May has sort of put that to the European leaders. They've come out and sort of endorsed it and accepted it. Now it's got to get through the various parliaments. And that could be a real problem, certainly for May. She's running at about sort of 80 to 100 votes short at present. Now, all the time, obviously, the clock is ticking. March 2019 is when Brexit is put into place. And at the moment, if you don't get those votes and you don't get this deal sort of put through Parliament, then we're heading for a hard Brexit, and that really, I think, will be pretty disastrous for the UK economy. Here in New Zealand, interesting this morning, expected to see a slight sort of easing in the LVR ratios for the Reserve Bank. That might just give the housing market a little bit of a boost. Although, sort of coming in obviously in spring and sort of summer now, there's been certainly a marked sort of pickup in the housing market, and that just sort of filtered through into the rest of the economy. That's also being buoyed by sort of record low mortgage rates. Mortgage rates now below 4%. Just interesting on the housing market, it's not just Auckland that's picking up again. Certainly down south, around sort of Southland, house prices have been, pretty rampant, and they continue to increase as well. But again, on the flip side of that, dairy's under quite a bit of pressure. It's down over 20% in the last few months, dairy prices. That's versus a milk payout anticipated to be around sort of $6.25 to $6.50. And obviously, if you continue to see sort of downward pressure on that, that might get marked down a little bit further. Strangely, though, one of the reasons why the prices are down is because the recent sort of good grass-growing weather in New Zealand, which has increased milk production. But obviously, as we head into summer and sort of drier pastures, that might sort of turn around. So it's a bit of a moving feast at the moment. Bond issues here in New Zealand. New Zealand refining got a 5-year reset in the marketplace. Minimum rate is 5.1 for the next 5 years. Again, if you're interested in that, call us on 0800 867 323. So, if you are looking for income options, there's plenty of alternatives available out there. Call us on 0800 867 323 or go to the website www.bayfinancialpartners.co.nz for lots of interesting articles, and we look forward to speaking to you soon.